John Lavelle here on technology isn't always that great. I'll give you a quick example. I know everybody knows what I'm talking about. Every time I make a call to some place, doctor's office or some company or something, or a phone company, gas company, any company you want to talk about, I get stuck with a machine I got to talk to, and how aggravating is that? I've had it where I've been on there half an hour and then the machine hangs up on me because nobody picked up the line at the other end. I don't even wonder if they even employ anybody. And that's an issue. See, that's another downside of the technology is a job is lost. So, no, not all technology is good. And I'm going to give you another example, which is even a bigger example. Right now, it's been for many years, but right now, robotics, industrial robotics is what every company is getting involved with right now. And the reason why is I couldn't believe the prices. I checked the prices on robotics. You should see the size of the robotic arms you can buy in industry for 20 grand. That's the computer, that's everything. And a guy will come in and program it to do anything, and it's all got different fixtures for the hands, like pipes with suction cups. It could have grippers, things that pry things apart, things that pick up stuff, and very, very efficient. Why the companies are buying it is if you figure out what a guy's wages are, this thing will work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And because it's an industrial product, you're looking at about 30 to 50 years before this thing seriously starts to break down. There may be a little bit of maintenance in there, but generally these things are designed to. They're using industrial material, industrial bearings, and you may have to upgrade the computer in that. But believe me, you're getting a lot of work for your money. These things basically run for free once you've made the initial purchase. Now the problem with that is every time you buy one, there's a few people are out of a job. And if you see the automotive industry, I mean, the automotive industry obviously hires a million people, but have you ever seen the assembly lines? Half the assembly lines are already replaced. The employees there, because half the assembly line is now robotics. They do all the welding and assembly of the bodies. All the panels are welded, and they're picking up parts and moving parts into areas, and all their shipping is done by robotics now. The whole shipping, because they have parts coming in all the time, they don't hire anybody. You know what the effects of not hiring anybody is? Good for the company. Right now it's good for the company. What happens is the more unemployment we have, the more of a burden. I'm not saying that the people are a burden, because it's not their fault, but the taxpayers who are working, their taxes keep going up to cover the cost of benefits for these people, so that they can live, eat and have shelter. And every time a machine comes in and takes a job, it's another person that needs a benefit, and that's you and I. Our taxes are just going to keep going up, and that whole thing about robotics and people's jobs is dominoes effect. It just keeps going and going and going until eventually the entire industrial world will not have anybody employed. This is such a heavy chunk out of the employment issue that the country wouldn't be able to handle the load. And I hear now that China's now targeted for robotics. They're going to sell robotics there, which is going to eat up all their jobs too. So eventually nobody's going to be working. And in white collar, you could say, well, I'm safe in white collar. How long do you figure it's going to be before you can buy a burger at McDonald's and it doesn't have to be made or served to you by a person? Machines today and the technology and this open market for developing is so widespread, it's just going to eat their jobs up. So banking is going to be done. You do banking at home now by your computer. I don't even see the people in the bank. They kill their jobs with all the bank machines. I mean, the technology is good. Well, rule of thumb is it's good if it's working. I don't know if you've ever had your computer doesn't work, you're about ready to tear your hair out. So I always say it's great if it's working. But anyways, in the long run, the companies that did, well, all companies in the actual country will suffer, because if nobody has any money, because they don't have a job, they can't actually buy the products that the companies made with their robots. You can't win. You have to employ people. This whole technology thing is wonderful, and you can't make a law. You can't buy a robot. I mean, what are you going to do? But I think there's a disaster at the long run. I mean, I think that if you get the unemployment high enough, you're going to go into a depression that there is no way out, and the stock markets will crash, and then the credit problems with the people in the banks and people in the country, the banks with the country, and the World Bank will collapse, and it doesn't sound very good. And I believe it's this wave of technology could easily bring this about in time. That's it.